Hi everybody, welcome to School of Scarlet. Today I have another message for you. So today's message is actually an energy update for the month of February. So I'm tuning into the energies of February and sharing that message here with you today. So if you're new here, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell because I put out daily messages on intuitive readings. So go ahead and hit that notification bell as well so that you'll be notified when I put out these messages. Okay, so just kind of feeling into the energy this morning, it really feels as though I'm feeling really tired. And I mentioned that yesterday in a video as well. So I'm filming this today, the day of February 1st. It is actually a little bit of a nicer day. We've had a lot of rain here where I live. We even had snow and just, it's been crazy. So anyhow, at least the weather is a little bit nicer and I'm out here sitting outside on my porch today, but I do feel a bit tired. And I mentioned that yesterday as well. So it's kind of this energy of feeling kind of blah. If you're feeling that already, if you're already resonating with that, give me a thumbs up down below. So yesterday as I was filming the video where I was sharing with y'all about the dream that I had like this heat come inside of me. Like I felt like hot. And you might even have been able to perceive that from the video a little bit. So what I'm sensing with the energy update that I'm sharing with you today kind of came through yesterday and today. So it's kind of just coming in all at once here. And so what's happening is like an internal fire that's within us. So this internal fire is an interesting one. It's an internal fire around anger. So generally we don't think that anger is a great thing to express, or we've been kind of told not to express that when we're little, when we're growing up, when we're in school. If we get angry, we're kind of like told not to do that, right? So we're kind of like, you know, moved in different ways so that we're not expressing our anger fully. But anger is something that has to be expressed. So what's happening here is that a lot of us have really suppressed this anger for a long time. And so the feelings that I'm feeling right now coming out in February is kind of this feeling of feeling unappreciated, feeling like we have to take everything on for everybody. Like we're doing so much, but so much is being unseen. Like people don't see what we do. They don't appreciate what we do. And so there's kind of this feeling of anger and a feeling of burnout. And it almost feels as if there's going to be a big blow up, and maybe there's already been a big blow up for you. And so generally with these big blow ups, it's not that whatever just happened was what made you blow up. It's usually a series of things prior to that blow up that we have been pushing down, that we have been suppressing. So I'm seeing like, you know, like one of those blow up pool or beach balls. And you know how in the pool we kind of push it down, we're trying to play with it or something. You can remember back being a kid, pushing that ball down, trying to keep it underneath the water, but it just keeps coming up. And then eventually it's just gonna pop up and hit you. Well, that's how these blow-ups are. It's like we're trying to like suppress all of these things that we don't feel we need to really express our anger over right away because, you know, we kind of been conditioned in a way that it's not okay to express that anger. You know, just because this happened doesn't mean that we have to express everything. That's the way we've been taught. So we push it down or bottle it up until boom, it hits us in the face and we have a blow up. And what ends up happening is usually this happens at a place and time that it's kind of always like the worst place in time, and people perceive it as what is wrong with that person? Why did that person blow up over that? It's such a small little thing. But again, this is a series of things that have been happening. So the main culprit or the main problem that we have to kind of go into this month is really ourselves, taking care of ourselves. Self-care is the highest form of self-love that we could do for ourselves. And see, oftentimes when we're doing everything for the world, like we feel like we've taken on all the responsibilities, but we're not being appreciated. It's because we're not appreciating ourselves. We're not putting ourselves first. We're abandoning ourselves in some ways. So, you know, even growing up as children, we also learn to kind of abandon ourselves in order to be loved. So maybe our parent doesn't feel comfortable with us being very outgoing, or, you know, being very animated, or maybe they don't feel comfortable with us being very emotional, or sharing gifts or something. And so we can see that in their expression. We can see that in their reaction to us. They don't necessarily even need to say it, but then we begin to learn that if we don't do that, if we don't act so outgoing, if we don't act so emotional or whatever, then we get more love. We get to be with this parent. But if we act this certain way, then we kind of feel like this rejection from them. So what we actually learn is to reject ourselves. And so what's happening this month is that we need to accept ourselves fully. And so one of the things that I wanted to bring forth here today, and that I feel coming through, is that you're a very unique expression. However you're showing up in this world may not be like anyone else. That's how unique you are. Your fingerprint is so unique that there is not anyone else here on this earth that has that fingerprint. No one on this earth has the same experiences you do. No one will ever have those same experiences that you have lived. No one. And so God, Source, Spirit is living that through you and sees how beautiful it is. If you weren't wanted here, you wouldn't be here. You're here because you're a miracle, because it is so unique. Your experience is so unique and loved and wanted to be here. So you're already accepted by the Most High. So it's time to accept yourself as a human, as yourself. Begin to accept yourself. Begin to love yourself. Oftentimes we're going back to how we feel unappreciated and, bottling things up and all of this and that. We oftentimes say yes to everyone else and we say no to ourselves. So what does that look like? It looks like, there's this dance recital. Okay, yes, we're going to go see you at this dance recital. There's this party come up. Yes, I'll go to the party. Though at work, maybe they need a volunteer to volunteer some diaper drive or something. You volunteer. At church, they need someone to do this and you volunteer. It's always a yes. And I know that because I've been there. And so you're saying yes to the whole world all of the time. But at the same time, you're saying no to yourself in some ways, because a lot of times you don't want to do these things. If you really are honest with yourself, if you're really truthful with yourself, a lot of times you don't want to do these things. Or you do these things and you realize you didn't like it. So you don't need to continue doing it, but a lot of times we do. And so we don't tell people no. So we need to flip that around. And instead of saying yes to everyone, we need to say yes to ourselves and no to others when needed. So I find myself now more and more saying no to others. If I don't want to go to a party, we're involved in a lot of social things through clubs and things like that. And my husband is a more social person. He enjoys going to these things. But I don't always want to go to these things. I know how my body feels. I know what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy. So a lot of times I am saying no, whereas before I was saying yes to everything. And maybe there's even family events. Maybe there's even, things within your own family, your own kids and stuff. Sometimes you have to say no and say yes to yourself. Allow them to go do their parties. Allow them to go do their things. And then after the fact, you don't have to explain yourself. So many times we see people making up excuses. And I didn't do a whole lot of that, but here and there I did. And actually it happened last night that someone just totally ghosted us over something that they were going to come pick something up. And we actually changed our schedule to make sure that we were there. And they just totally ghosted us. They didn't tell us what happened or anything. And the next day they came up with all these excuses as to what they were doing. But why couldn't they just have been honest and truthful about the fact that they didn't want to come, or, something else had come up, but rather they came up with all of these excuses and lies? We don't have to lie. We don't have to come up with excuses. We can simply say, I don't feel like going. I don't enjoy that, or I don't want to go. We don't have to hide anything. We can be very, very honest. And that is what we're being called to do right now in the month of February, is to truly be honest, be truthful with ourselves, take care of ourselves, check in with ourselves and see, what do we want to do? What don't we want to do? We don't have to take care of the whole world. The whole world will still go on if we don't take care of the whole world. But we must take care of ourselves. If we do not take care of ourselves, eventually we will be burned out. And when we get burned out, we'll either have a blow up like I talked about before, where we're just, emotionally blow up on someone, or we'll literally have a health issue, something that will stop us in our tracks and make us rest. Because if you're not allowing yourself the rest to recharge, to take care of yourself, your body will eventually give out in some way and you'll experience a health issue. I have also been through that, and that was my reflection of why that happened. So we have to take care of ourselves. Listen to your body. If you're feeling tired, like I'm feeling tired today, it's okay to take a day to totally not do anything. If you can do that for yourself, do that for yourself. You deserve it. You must love yourself. And in doing that, you can recharge for the next thing that you actually want to do. So kind of circling back to this internal fire. Yesterday, while I was filming this video, I felt like this internal fire happening. And so the fire was kind of signaling to me that there was some anger, there was something inside that is going to come up. And maybe it's going to come up in a blow up, maybe it's going to come up in a way of a realization, something. But there is an internal fire, and I think that is the theme around this month. There's also like a fire going outside of us. So we're seeing lots of things in our reality being projected and in the news and on social media and everything. And we're like, what in the world is going on with the world? And it's really, for some of us, concerning. For some people, they'll even say that they're depressed over the state of the world. And, you know, I've heard so many different things being said about this. And we really have to see that these fires are going to occur. But at the same time, we have to take care of ourselves. That's going to be the main theme. So we're going to see fires going on outside of ourselves, and we're going to see fires occurring within us. And we have to choose in each and every time that these things come up to take care of ourselves, rather than thinking we're going to go out there and extinguish that fire in the world. We're going to go out there and be an activist and stop that. And we're going to go and write all these things about it on Facebook, or we're going to, you know, fight this person. Or no, we got to go within. We got to go within and begin to take care of ourselves. See, what do we need? What does the fire within us need? What is the anger within us signaling? Where have we not been taking care of ourselves? So that is the main theme of this month, is what I feel like. If you are resonating with this message, give me a thumbs up, a heart, comment down below what you're experiencing in the month of February. We're a collective, and it's just not me that I'm an intuitive. You all are intuitive. And so begin to feel into these things. Begin to use your faculties that have been given to you, like intuition, to see what do you feel is happening within your being? What do you feel is happening within this world? So begin to use those faculties of intuition, okay, to begin to help you, because that's going to help you a lot in not just February, but in the months and years to come. So that is a really strong theme as well. I'm really sensing intuition. I'm sensing nurturing, you know, going within, being like, you know, just taking care of oneself, really using a lot of the feminine aspects are going to become very potent right now. So it's important to begin to use those faculties. If you don't know how to tap into your intuition, or you feel so far apart from it, or you don't know how to distinguish from, you know, overthinking or negative thoughts, or just any thought streams that are coming in. I hear that a lot. People have trouble, you know, what is intuition and what is my voice? If you're having trouble distinguishing that, I would highly encourage you to connect with me. I invite you to join my intuition training. I am still enrolling students for that course. We're going to begin here soon. And so I would encourage you to check that out. I will link my intuition course in the description and in the comments down below. If you're feeling like, yes, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to explore, this is what I want to now move towards, don't let your brain or your ego change your mind. Move forward and begin to live from your intuition, because this is going to really be valuable, and not just in February, but in the months, years, and the rest of your life, because that is where we're moving towards. All right, so I think I'm going to close up here. I think that is what I'm feeling for the month of February. Again, I hope that this message found you well. If you are new here, I encourage you to subscribe, to come back to my channel. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and come back for the next message. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I will catch you on our next message.